Please confirm if kung ano, am I audible at your end? And makita na ba ninyo ang nasa screen? So this morning we will have a discussion about strain. So this is not included in our exam, but I will just discuss it in advance so that next week hindi na kayo taas sa ang discussion. So since next week is wala sa day klase on ano did I sure sorry I will not choose date. So sa Monday, tay klase Monday ha. Then Tuesday is a holiday. So yeah, not to siya. So please open your camera for a while before we start. Saan mo na siya? Uh, so please smile or naglibog na ko. Saan ka na itong pagkuhan manay? FN print screen? Windows print screen. Lagi siya. Magdiretso na? Di lagi siya applicable. Full screen. So let us bow our heads first and have our prayer before we start. So let us bow our heads and put ourselves in the holy presence of God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father who art in heaven, holy be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sinned against us. Bring us to the test and deliver us from evil. Amen. Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, good morning, everyone. So, so akong gi-join no ang duha ka section for this morning. So, 2A and 2C. So our next topic is all about strain. So again, based on your research, no, so nag-conduct ta og activity uh, previously. So research ninyo, di ba, sa relationship between stress and strain, what is strain and what are the equations na involved sa strain. So stress is, stress, di ba, that's directly proportional to strain. So meaning if ang imong object is exposed to dako nga stress, so possibility sad is dako sad ang strain no nga iyahang ma-experience. And according to Hooke's law, stress is directly proportional to strain. So that is uh, obviously a theoretical no, approach. So I will be discussing how is it theoretical and sa ang mga principle na involved or concept that are involved for our topic this morning. So axial deformation, stress strain diagram. So basically ang ato ang i-discuss karon is just the axial no nga deformation. So later in our next meeting or in the succeeding discussions, so mag-discuss ta og uh, unilateral, bilateral, and triaxial deformations. So karon ang ato sang i-discuss is the axial deformation wherein we just have to consider a uniaxial deformation. So of course, if you have, for example, no, a certain steel or a certain member of the structure like beam or columns, kung ato na siyang applyan of axial load, again, it will also be exposed to axial stress. And since ma-expose siya sa axial stress, nasa siya possible axial deformation, and it has something to do with its diba, direction sa imuhang force. So if your for a while kasi. So if your member,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes, Indoy,
Ah, kanang hinay kayo imong tingog, ma'am. Murag faint ra gyud kayo mo madunggan, ma'am.
dili ninyo madunggan akong tingog.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, kani Indoy, madunggan?
Murag maog hapon siya, ma'am.
Kani?
Maklaro imong tingog man, ma'am, pero murag siya hinay gyud ka nga hinay, ma'am. Murag lain nga si nga speak microphone imong gigamit or okay ba, ma'am?
Kani? Maklaro?
Same ra gihapon ganina, ma'am.
Hello, ano gani? For a while Try kog laing
Aka na, ma'am, ni okay na. Kato.
kani?
Oh,
Okay na?
yes, ma'am.
Sige. So thank you for informing me, no? So kana okay na?
Yes, ma'am.
So again, strain is the effect of stress, no? So again, by the relationship, stress due to Hooke's law, stress is directly proportional. So stress is directly proportional to your strain.
Ay, excuse me, balik, ma'am. Ning balik siya hinay, ma'am.
Ano man eh. Kuha lang kog laing headphones. What happened? So how about ganyan doy? Klaro na?
Yes, ma'am.
Sige. So basi nilit ang mama na niyo. Sige rat tawag usog ko ano. So please inform me kung hindi na maklaro. Okay. So stress, again, that is directly proportional to strain. So, di ba, kung mag-split out proportionality of two quantities, so nasa na siya ay proportional constant, no? So, which is noted by the elastic modulus. So, it is already been derived no, sa inyong activity last time. So again, if you have axial deformation, nasa na siya ma-develop na axial stress, and it is evident sa imuhang member. For example, if nakakay rod, no, for example, then mag-exert ka ni kag axial load, that means it will uh, pass through no, or it will act sa imuhang member parallel to its axis. So kani man ang major axis sa imuhang member, di ba? So gitawag siyang axial load because the load is parallel sa imuhang axis. So if this is a normal load, it could be in tension, di ba? Or it could be in compression. So of course, kung atong binaton, ito lang siyang i-assume nga, ito siyang subject to a tensile load. So axial load could be in tension or could be in compression. So kung ako na siyang binaton, so may tabo sa imuhang length, diba? It will elongate. So if elongate na siya, the difference now sa imuhang, of course, kung elongate sa pikas, elongate ko ni ani nga side. And the total deformation is just equal to the imuhang new length. Your L prime, this is your original length. And kani nga change sa imuhang length diri is what we call deformation. So, ang effect niya anak class is your strain, no? So, the strain is equals to the deformation over the length. So, which is, i-derive na ninyo ganito. So strength of material is not the only criterion that must be considered when deciding a machine parts or structures. So the stiffness of the material is often equally important as their mechanical properties such as hardness, toughness, and ductility. So class pag-analyze sa ato ang materials class or sa pag-decide, dili lang nato dapat i-consider kung usa ka lig-on ang imong material. So it has also something to do with the stiffness or the resistance of your material against deformation. No, kaya bisan pag lig-on siya kaayo and then mo-deform siya substantially due to the presence of load, so mo-fail gihapon ang imong material. Bisan pag isa siya ka-lig-on, na-deform siya. So stiffness of the material is also equally important. So and these properties are determined by laboratory tests, and many materials, particularly metals, have established the standards that describes the test procedure in details. So oftentimes ang mga steel na to is na sila mga results no nga na-establish na standards depende sa properties sa metal. So manang kung makabantay mo na different classes or yield strength ang mga materials. So that is na-determined through laboratory testing. The normal or axial strain, so kung makuha ninyo diri, so for the normal condition, wala pa siya na-applyan ang load. So this is the original length and this is the undeformed na portion sa imong material. And once gi-applyan na siya og axial load, then na-develop ang axial strain, stress, then later na-develop ang axial strain. So there is already a deformation sa imong material. So the elongation may be caused. So elongation is denoted by the Greek symbol epsilon. I know deformation is sigma. Elongation is caused by the applied axial load or any expansion due to increase in temperature. So by the way, elongation sometimes have a symbol is symbol delta, like a change in length or change in height. So that's the elongation symbol. And strain describes the geometry of deformation independent of what actually causes the deformation. And normal strain is denoted by the Greek symbol epsilon, which is defined as the elongation per unit of length. And therefore, normal strain in a bar in the axial direction is also known as the axial strain, is represented by this equation. So strain or epsilon is equals to the deformation of the length. So since your stress according to Hooke's law is directly proportional to strain, so you can have the equation stress is equals to the elastic modulus over deformation of the length. So later we will derive the equation for the deformation. Economic expound stress, which is just equal to force over area. So parang naano siya sa itong presentation. So I'll just show that. So if the bar deforms uniformly, then it represents the axial strain everywhere in the bar. No? So kanang imong strain, it is experienced all throughout the length of the bar. So dili lang kay sa ends na siya mo effect. It is uniformly distributed everywhere in the bar. So otherwise, this expression should be viewed as the average axial strain. So note that normal strain being elongation per unit length is a dimensionless quantity. So since strain is deformation over length, So since the unit of deformation that is could be in mm, or your length could be also in mm, so it is just cancelled out. So other reference book, they just write it as is, no? mm per mm or inch per inch. So it is cancel out ng siya gihapon. So it simply means no, nga ang normal strain is a dimension by square. Then, tension test. So, ang standard tension test, so ang mo ni siya ang gamito no, to determine the yield strength of the material or para may bawaan kung isa'y allowable niya nga stress. So, in the tension test, ang specimen is placed in the grips of the testing machine. So, kani siya, pasod itong imong specimen diri sa grip, no, para bigod siya. Then, binaton siya with a tension loop. So, that is why gitawag siya tension test. So, 2 marks are described on the specimen to define the gauge length. So, kani siya, kani nga length diri, markahan na siya to label, gawin na siya ang original length before nimo i-apply ang load. After na nimo siya malabelan, imo ni siya exertan og load slowly, no? So, dili na siya abrupt na pag-load. And it must be at constant rate until the specimen ruptures. So, before na ma-rupture yung mga butas, before siya mo cut at any point sa inyong specimen, so, undergo pa na siya og changes. So, kung mag-apply kag load of P, so, imo bantayan ang inyong material kung may elongate mo siya o wala. So, kung may changes sa inyong length, ihapon na siyang i-record dito sa inyong diagram. Then, i-release po niya balik ang load. So, kung mabalik ang inyong material sa inyong original na length, adto ang limit, ang inyong material is na pa siya sa elastic state. Then, after ana, is ihanap po na siyang increasean ang inyong load. Again, ang increase should be constant ang increase. So, kung mag-add kag 10 kN kada testing, so mag-add kag continuously 10 kN, then you release the load. Then, until such time nga, once mo increase kag load, inig-release na sa nimo sa load, mabantayan nila sa ilang testing nga dili na mo balik sa original length ang imuhang specimen. So that is the time nga ni-yield na sugod ang imuhang material. No? So kung mo yield na gani imuhang material class, it's no longer included in the elastic state. So adto na siya sa plastic state na magsugod nag-deform ang imuhang material continuously. So when you say deform continuously, dili na siya undang o deform, no? Until you apply, increase the load here, diba? Constant imong pag-add. So mag-add na sad ka until such time na ang imong material will break. So may forma nag-break na siya. So if this is the plasma na siya until such time na kapunay ni mag-increase ang load, increase then release, until such time putol na siya. Wala na siya. So, kaning pagputol na is already the rupture or the breaking point. So, ato na siyang i-explain further later sa ato ang stress strain diagram. So, mao na siya ang buhaton sa tension test. So, iludan niya monitoro nila kung nabay changes sa length. So, the time or the span or the duration, kung kanus wala pa ni deform imong material, mo pa na iyang makita nimo dito ang load na kaya niya before siya mo deform. Then, after na nga mo deform siya, before sa iyang breaking point, muna siya ang itawag nimong yield point. Now, wherein ang imuhang material is mo-hold pa siya sa imong member, pero padung na siya mo break. So manay gitawag nito og yield or allowable niya nga stress na before siya mo break or before siya mo failure. So these data are then converted to the stress chain diagram. So ang stress that is obtained by the again the equation that is force over area, where P is the load and A is area, represents the original cross-sectional area of the specimen. Then the strain is computed from again this epsilon equals deformation over delta over L, where delta is the elongation between the gauge marks and L is the original gauge length. So these results which are based on the original area and the original gauge length are referred to as the nominal stress and the nominal strain. So as the Y is being stretched, its cross-sectional area becomes smaller and the length between the gauge mark increases. So of course, kung binaton, ito na siya tatawag diri. So kung ato na siyang binaton pa, so of course, mag-elongate sa din yung kanina imong length. Kung gamay imong length, ang cross-sectional area, if we observe here, nagkagamay na siya. So, gamay ang cross-sectional area, mataas ang length. Then, similarly, a true strain is obtained by dividing the elongation by the current gauge length. So the dominal and the true measures are essentially the same in the working range of metals. So they differ only for very large strains such as occur in rubber-like materials or ductile metals just before rupture. So with only a few exceptions, engineering applications use nominal stress and strain. So this is the representation of the stress chain diagram. So kani siyang part diri is your stress and this is the strain. So di ba since stress is force over area, makuha na to ganiya sa tong tension test. Ang strain is represented by the deformation. So strain, that's the deformation over the length. So ini-graph anak class, kung mag-increase kag load, kaya kani imong load una, mo na ni iyang strain nga na-develop. Then, pag-abot diri, kani nga load nga ang i-apply. So, pag-abot diri nga deformation or strain, o napa siya inig-release sa load is mobalik pa ang iyahang kanang length sa iyang original nga length, no, or mabalik pa ang material sa iyang original nga length. So kani siya nga part diri is the elastic limit or the elastic state. Then pag increase na sa dimog load, di ba? Kung mag-increase kag load, mag-increase sa ang stress. So that is why kani siya zero stress padung sa unsa na siya nga value, depende sa imong testing. It could reach up to 40,000 MPa, so on and so forth. So magdepende ang stress again sa load nga gi-apply sa itong tension test ganiha. So pag abot niya ani nga increase sa load is wala na mobalik ang imong material sa iyang original nga length. So ani na nag-start of deform imong material until niabot siya sa ultimate strength. So this is the maximum deformation it could have before siya ma-rupture. So of course, if i-rupture class, dili na siya eventually mawa dayon ang imong mag-deform siya even though wala na ka nag-exert ng force. So mo na siya, mo down na sila diri. Till such time na pag abot niya sa iyong ultimate strength, dili po na siya automatic no nga makat. So napa na siya certain time na siya before siya may rupture. So this is actually the stress strain. So in our analysis for the strain, ani ratataman ta sa proportional limit because we assume that, diba, if you recall, we assume that the stress is directly proportional to strain. So when it is directly proportional, meaning ang ilang relationship, it's linear. So kung linear, ani ratataman, no? We assume that the So we assume that the material, after being exposed to the tension load, is mo return siya sa iyang original length. So that is why it is very theoretical. Ito siyang analyzer. Because in reality, dili mo gid all the time, especially in the event na na earthquake or na bagyo. So dili na siya safe ang assumption na mubalik yun siya sa iyang original state. But then again, we design our structure nga inig abot ani nga load is mubalik ra siya sa iyang original state. So mo na og makusog ang magnitude sa earthquake, makusog pa siya sa magnitude niya prior to pag-design na itong structure, may tendency gid na kuba siya. Gawas lang kung minor lang movement. So kung minor ra, wala siya ni-exceed sa design, so wala, stable get pa naman yung structure. At kung exceed siya, no, sa minimum criteria magigamit mag-design atong structure before niabot ang linog, manang maguba ang atong structure. So yield ang materials. So that's basically how you relate stress and strain sa ito ang natural phenomena and sa common na mahitabo. And stress strain diagrams of materials vary widely. So and different tensile tests conducted on the same materials may vary or may yield different results. So depending upon the temperature of the specimen and the speed of loading. So, however, some common characteristics can be distinguished from the stress strain diagrams to divide materials into two broad categories. So, the ductile and the brittle materials. So, ductile materials including stress by their ability to yield at normal temperatures because the specimen is subjected to an increasing load. So its first length increases linearly with the load and at a very slow rate. So thus the initial portion of the stress strain diagram is a straight line with a steep slope. So ductile materials is best, or ductility is best established by steel. So when you compare steel with concrete, concrete is not ductile, it's brittle. So that is why dili ta mag-expect class nga ang concrete is similar og stress strain diagram sa steel. So kaning gipakita diri sa figure is actually for ductile materials. So si ductile material is after nimo siya gi-applyan og load, na pa siya sa na siya proportional limit. So meaning ini deform niya or ini expose niya sa stress, na siya strain, mabalik kaya pa siya sa iyang original na length before siya mo yield. But si concrete is different. So si concrete is, I don't know kung yield ba si concrete, no? It will not yield actually. Diretso na siya nga mo fail if we apply it. That is why concrete is not being tested for tension test. That's for compression. Then we also have here proportional limit and Hooke's law. So in ano siya ang gigamit to derive the equation for the deformation. So in the stress strain diagram, the straight line of the origin O to a point called the proportional limit. So this plot is a manifestation of the Hooke's law. So stress is proportional to strain. So kanina ito ang gigamit na principle ng Hooke's law is tama na ta again sa proportional limit. So meaning i-assume na to itong material after being exerted with a force will return to its original length. Mr. Maniwang, you're raising your hand.
Ma'am, kanang regarding sa yield point, ma'am, anak murag di na siya mobalik sa original length niya kay murag na deform na siya.
Yes, so dili na siya mobalik sa iyang original shape and it is continuously deforming. So meaning dili na siya mo-stop and deform until maabot siya sa iyang ultimate strength.
And then ang ultimate strength mo na ang point of breaking or breakage.
Yes, that's a point wherein mo-stop na o release of force kay dili na niya, di ba? If you try to, sabi itong example na, tayo nagkakaon mo balikot sa or something sticky. Di ba nice such point ana nga before siya mo break or before mo buwag ang duha ka part sa for example suman. Di ba na part ana nga dili na ka mo exert, din pilit paghapon ang imong duha ka elements before siya mo cut. Have you experienced that one? Kasi matikaon na rin balikot sa. Ila ba mo balikot sa? Ang ultimate strength ana, that is a time wherein dili na ka mo release og force, or wala na kag-exert nga force, pero ga continue pa og deform imong material until mabot ka sa rupture. So it's not automatic na pag abot sa maximum load is mo rupture siya dayon. Napa na siya certain gap before siya mo rupture or before siya mo break.
Sige ma'am, kanang inig kanang so mag-design tag mga building na dili mo abot sa point na mo lapas sa yield point.
That's kuan po. Usually ang gi-assume nato is kani siya proportional siya. So meaning we assume nga ang ato ang material will go back to its original shape. But there are some analysis na mogamit ta sa yield strength and sa ultimate strength. So obviously na po times nga anita mo for sa ato ang analysis. So sa application na natay gitawag og ultimate strength design, na po tay allowable strength design. So in your application sa mga nga subjects, higher na mga subjects, so magamit ninyo ang mga values, ultimate strength and yield strength. And also have the allowable strength. So muna magamit ang mga factor of safety.
Okay, ma'am. Unsa ang pasabot sa true strength unya nominal rupture strength?
So ang true strength, so muna siya ang kuan sa totoo, no? Ang iyang stress is dako pagyapon. So more or less ang true rupture strength is ano siya imaginary. Kaya obviously, mag-assume mo ang pressure nga to or ang force nga itong i-exert is ano na siya, diba, increase. But again, ang kuana na is mo stop na siya o release of force once maabot na niya ang ultimate strength. Mo down siya din.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So, hindi siya, we need to compute the reaction.
Then again, we have to consider na ang atong gamiton na equation to solve for the stress and the strain of the material is by applying Hooke's law. And since by Hooke's law, it states that stress is proportional to the strain. So, ito lang gamiton is kanina portion, yung linear pa ang stress and ang strain. Directly proportional. So, kung wala pa sa siya diri, is no longer directly proportional. So, gamit na tayo og derivative to represent the relationship between stress and strain. So, of course, it's very hard to solve problems using derivative and we don't know where exactly ang material will fail. So that is why it is more convenient to use the proportional limit to solve or derive equations. But later, so napo na siya mga factor of safety na gamiton just to counter some possible nga mga ma-miss nimo or mga wala nimo na account sa imong analysis. So that is why natay gitawag sa factor of safety na atong i-multiply sa to ang mga values or sa mga ultimate niya nga strength. So, in this equation, E here is the material's property known as the modulus of elasticity or the Young's modulus, and the unit of E for the same are the same as the unit of stress, that is in Pascal or PSI. So for steel, standard value for E, that's 29 times 10 raised to 6 PSI. Or that's 200 GPa. So other materials has also their own modulus of elasticity. So just like bronze, just like aluminum, nasa like kawalingon yung elastic modulus. Okay, nailahi man og resistance ang materials against deformation. So magdepende na siya sa properties of the materials. And oftentimes, it is given in the problem. So note that Hooke's law does not apply to the entire diagram. Its validity ends at the proportional limit alone. No? So beyond this point, stress is no longer proportional to strain. So again, our concentration will be only at the proportional limit. So any or anything beyond the proportional limit, dili na ma-apply na to ang Hooke's law. Then elastic limit, again, this is a material is said to be elastic if after being loaded, the material returns to its original shape when the load is removed. So again, ang tension test, so na ay constant increase nimo sa load, mo siyang i-release na po ng load. So once maabot na ang point where i-delete na mo balik ang imong material sa yung original shape, so that is the time na nilapas na siya sa elastic limit. So elastic limit, as its name implies, is stress beyond which the material is no longer elastic. So the permanent deformation or the plastic deformation that remains after the removal of the load is called the permanent set. So once mo lapas sa gani class, ang imuhang material sa elastic limit is undergo na siya of permanent set, meaning it will be constantly experiencing deformation until it reaches its limit. So the elastic limit is slightly larger than the proportional limit. However, because of the difficulty in determining the elastic limit accurately, it is usually assumed to coincide with the proportional limit. So if mabantayan ninyo ganiha sa ato ang diagram, life portion na no before mabot siya sa yield point kaning elastic nga mura siyang nibaw na. So since it's very dili siya easy mo identify what is exactly the elastic limit, oftentimes i-assume na siya nga equal na siya sa proportional limit. So that's for the elastic. And for the yield point, so this is the point where the stress strain diagram becomes almost horizontal and is called the yield point. Okay, and the corresponding stress is known as the yield stress or the yield strength. So beyond the yield point, there is an appreciable elongation or yielding of the material without a corresponding increase in load. So indeed, the load may actually decrease while the yielding occurs. However, the phenomenon of yielding is unique to structural steel. So if you observe the structural steel class, taas pa iyang resistance against the deformation. So, nag-increase pa ang load, di ba, at this point, before siya ni curve downward. So, meaning, taas siya o resistance no, against deformation. And that is a good property of steel. So, taas siya ductility. But other grades of steel, like steel alloys and other materials, do not yield. So, as indicated by the stress strain curve of the materials. So, unsa man ang iyang kasabutan. No? So, after nimo pag-apply og load, diba, if you observe here, this is still linear, diba? Kung ato siyang awon, na-assume na ito, mas taas pa siyang linear until mo break na siya tayo. So, gamay na siya yield point. Di parehas sa steel. Taas pa siya yield point. So, kung sa steel ang gamito nimo, makaandam pa ka gawa sa building before mo fail sa structure. So, unlike concrete, o tanawa si concrete, if you assume this is if we draw a line here, gamay lang ang load niya, gamay pa ang load ni mga gi-induce, dako na siya deformation. Then kung tanaw ni mga linearity niya, gamay ra ang diferensya sa linear nga deformation. Then fail na siya dayon. So wala na siya agi-agi o taas ka ayo nga yielding point. So mo na siya nga ang concrete, it's not ductile but it's brittle. Okay. Ang iyang resistance to deformation or resistance to load is very gamay compared to steel. So other grades of steel like steel alloys and other materials that yield and as indicated in the stress strain curve of the materials. And incidentally, these curves are typical for a first loading of materials that contain appreciable residual stresses produced by manufacturing or aging processes. So after repeated loading, these residual stresses are removed and the stress strain curve becomes practically straight lines. Straight again, that's directly proportional. Then for materials that do not have a well-defined yield point, yield stress is determined by the offset method. So this method consists of drawing a parallel line to the initial tangent of the stress strain curve. And this line starts at a prescribed offset strain, so usually 0.2%. So kani siya nga value plus sa inyong strain 0.002 is nani siya sa inyong RCD method. Design mo kay concrete. So then again, we will not focus much on this. Ito na ninyo ma-apply sa design na mga subjects. So for the intersection of this line with the stress strain curve is called the yield point. So ang yield point niya is identified at 0.2% because again, it's very impossible or hindi siya impossible but it's hard to identify where it exactly is a yield point. So that is why it's assumed to have an offset of 0.2%. So kani siyang value or factor is gigamit mo siya for concrete. So sa steel is maka-identify ka sa yield point but for concrete is wala. So i-assume niya ang value using the offset method that's 0.002 offset. So kani siya nga value. Again, we will not dig deep about this one. So, magamit na rin ninyo siya when you have your design subjects. Then, ultimate stress. So, ang ultimate stress or the ultimate strain, as it is often called, is the highest stress on the stress strain curve. So, muna yung pinakataas. Kung tanawang itong ganito. So, muna yung pinakataas na strength nga gi-induce sa imong specimen before siya mo rupture. So at this point, since pinakataas naman siya, so no need na ka mag-add og load no, to break the sample. That's already the maximum. So that is why it is called the ultimate. So that's the ultimate stress, and it is the highest stress on the stress strain curve. And the rupture stress or the rupture strength is the stress at which failure occurs, and for structural steel, the nominal rupture strength is considerably lower than the ultimate strength because the nominal rupture strength is computed by dividing the load at the rupture by the original cross-sectional area. And thus, the true rupture strength is calculated using the reduced area of the cross-sectional where the fracture occurred. So the difference in the two values results from a phenomenon called known as the necking. So as failure approaches, the material stretches very rapidly, causing the cross-section to narrow. So again, ang portion din is nagamay ang cross-sectional area. So kung gamay again ang cross-sectional sa imuhang diba kung gamay ang area madako sa stress. Diba stress is force over area. So kung gamay imong area madako sa stress. So that is why in the stress strain diagram ganiha you have here the true rupture strength. So wherein ang true rupture strength is that's the imaginary or the assumed nimong stress considering the actual na dimension diri of breakage that is called also the necking. So at the point also, as failure approaches, So the material stretches very rapidly, causing the cross-section to narrow. So because the area where rupture occurs is smaller than the original area, the true rupture strength is larger than the ultimate strength. However, the ultimate strength is commonly used as a maximum stress that the material can carry. So, pag na-rupture, so dili naman siya makakarry. So, sa imuhang load, so that is why dili siya ang gamitan nimo as the ultimate strength. Because again, at the ultimate strength, that is the part of your analysis or in the laboratory test, wherein mo na gito ang maximum load na gi-apply before siya mo rupture. So that is why we have to use ultimate stress as the maximum stress. Then we also have here the modulus of resilience. So this is the work done on a unit volume of material as the force is gradually increased from 0 to P, O to P. So this is in Newton meter per cubic meter. So this may be calculated as the area under the stress strain curve from the origin O to P up to the elastic limit. So basically, class, when you are resilient, diba, that is the ability of something or someone na even if it's exposed to a lot of stress, a lot of forces, a lot of stresses, it has the ability to return to its original state. So that is why ang modulus of resilience is kani nga shaded part from this point towards the proportional limit. Because again, at this part, your material is still capable of returning to its original shape. So that is why that is called your modulus of resilience. It's from O to P. Resilient ka imong material, at least resilient na siya, capable pa siya mabalik to its original shape. So that is why that's resilient. Then we also have here modulus of toughness. So when you say toughness, so bisan pag ma-deform ka, dili ka ma-break. That's being tough. And modulus of toughness is the work done on a unit volume of the material as the force is gradually increased from 0 to the rupture point. So, taman aning rupture point. And this may be calculated as the area under the entire stress strain curve from 0 to R. And the toughness of a material is its ability to absorb energy without causing it to break. So basically, kaninga part diri, consider this is the area that you need to consider to get the modulus of toughness. Again, you are, if ato na siya i-relate sa atong personal life, you are tough because wala pa ka break. So even though ni-deform na ka, even though ni-change na ka, you are still fighting, wala ka na break. So that's modulus of toughness. Again, the difference between the two is ang modulus of toughness is without breaking, ang resilience is without permanent distortion. So meaning, wala pa siya deformation. Again, once malapas na diba ka sa proportional limit, you will experience permanent set. And that permanent set is continuous deformation. So until abot ka sa breaking point. So this is the modulus of resilience, the part from 0 or from O to R, that is for modulus of toughness. Then we also have here working stresses and factor of safety. So ang working stress is also known as the allowable stress. This is the maximum safe action load used in the design. So in most designs, the working stress should be limited to values not exceeding the proportional limit. So diba, that's the theoretical approach. So dapat ang working stress na to dili mulapas, because again kung mulapas, abot na siya sa yield point, no? So that the stress will remain in the elastic range. So, however, because the proportional limit is difficult to determine accurately, so it is customary to base the working stress on either the yield stress or the ultimate stress. So mo to siya, if you try to So, diba, it's impossible to determine what is this values, no? But in most materials, nano na siya identified na yield and ultimate strength. So, kung steel imong gamito, nano siya kaugalingong yield strength, napod siya ultimate strength. So, mo nang in most design, ang gamit nila mga values are the values of your yield strength or the ultimate strength, but they use factor of safety. So, meaning, kung kana ang yield strength, ana nga point na yield na imong material, then ang isa is ang ultimate strength, or mo na ang pinaka-taas na stress na makuha nimo. Kung ato na siyang kung anong class of factor of safety, kung ato na siyang dividan of factor of safety, ang atong gamiton nga working stress is gamay. Diba? Mahimo siyang gamay ang working stress. So, kung gamay imo ang working stress, sa may mahitabo na class. Gamay ang magkitahay design ta nga criteria. Diba? Naman tay ultimate strength sa imong material. So, manay pinaka dako nga stress nga kaya niya. Ang yield strength, for example, ano siya ang the start na og yield imong material but wala pa siya niabot sa iyang ultimate strength. Kung ang working strength nimo, divide nimo sa factor of safety, so may mahitabo sa imong working stress. The working stress would be less than the ultimate strength. And it is also less than sa imong yield strength. So kung gagmay imong working stress, so may implication sa design. Design ta. Diba? Gamay ang stress nga imong gamiton, usa pay mahitabo sa imong load. Gamay ra sad ang load nga imong ma-consider sa design. So meaning it would be safe, no? Kay kung for example, gamay ang load nga imong i-consider sa design, ang actual nga load nga niabot is dako pa ani. But take note, naka-factor of safety ka. So meaning instead unta nga kanira ang iyang maabot, kung kani ang iyang P nga partner, ang P nga niabot is maximum. Diba, nag-factor of safety ka? So, ang factor of safety nimo is, take note, it should be more than 1. So, useless ra o 1 na imong factor of safety. Diba, nakag-divide of nothing. So, if dako imong factor of safety, meaning, ang imong ultimate strength is wala pa niabot sa imong working stress. So, pwede pa ang imuhang load is mo increase until such time or until mabot siya sa yield or sa ultimate. So, makuha ra ba ang concept sa factor of safety? Why we need to have factor of safety in the design? Any question or clarifications? Mr. Maniwa.
So, lower ang limit para kanang dili mo lapas sa tinuod na strength niya man para na
Yes, para napaka-allowable nga stress.
allowance.
Yes, allowance. So, in case man gani, for example, pag design mo sa, diba, nagamit natin sa working stress, which is lesser pa sa ultimate o sa yield. So, ang gamiton nimo nga working stress, wala siya ipadagan nimo sa imong design para makakuha kag pila day ako ang dapat allowable load. Diba? That's the concept. We need to get the allowable load. So, pag design nimo, ayun ka nga, this building has only allowable load of something. And pag actual, na ay bagyo, na ay earthquake, pag abot sa bagyo, dako pa day siya sa imong gi-design nga load. So, ikaw nga engineer, kung una kagpatay na, panang ito na akong factor of safety, akong working stress. Kasi na akong gigamit na working stress is already the ultimate. So, kung ultimate to akong nagamit na working stress, ang hitabo is, wala na chance ako ang material to deform or absorb ang katong load nga niabot. Diba? So, meaning, ang working stress, ang concept sa working stress is gamayan niya ang working load or ang working stress imo ang design para ang mga limitations nimo na also decrease. Then kung for example, dako ang actual nga ni-act sa imong structure, so napa siya allowance. So, dili pa niya maabot ang ultimate o ang yield na point sa imong material before siya mo fail. So that's basically the kung ano, ang gamit sa working stress and factor of safety. So natubag ra ba undoy imong pangutana?
Yes, ma'am.
So I think we have to end from here. So next meeting, ito na siyang i-discuss